Welcome back out. Definitely no pinball here. And I appreciate you tuning in whenever you can, James. Welcome everybody. We are live at the Toledo Museum of Art in Toledo, Ohio. We're going to be watching a glass blowing exhibit that they have here. The live stream, please make sure you have a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and follow. It's definitely toasty in here. You can see the kilns are just glowing. We got like another 4 minutes and then they're going to start it up here. What's happening, Chris? You're nice and toasty warm inside the Toledo Glass House right now. Getting ready. Welcome everybody. If you're new to the live stream, we're live at the Toledo Museum of Art. We're about ready to watch our glass blowing exhibition that they have here. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you follow and subscribe. If you're new to the live stream, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Give a big shout out to a couple people here. Give a big shout out to our Patreon members. A big shout out to Cat R, Charlie Rust, April, Critical, Eric, and James. Thank you guys for your monthly contributions to Patreon. We also do have memberships for the channel, so if you guys would be interested in supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form, you can check the memberships out. We have those available. The link is in the bio. Thank you to all the members. And thank you for sure MVP to Kat. She is the MVP of the live streams. Thank you to Kat for always gifting the memberships and with the super chats. I appreciate it so much.
Alright, welcome to the Toledo Museum of Art, Glass Pavilion. This is our hot shop studio. The reason why we call it the hot shop is our furnace here. This furnace holds 700 pounds of clear molten glass at 2,150 degrees Fahrenheit. That's actually a little bit hotter than lava. So right here, Misha is going to be creating a vessel for us today. My name is Josh. I'm going to narrate everything happening. Right now, Misha's getting some of that hot glass on the end of his pipe. It looks bright orange from that intense heat, but it is clear. And we're going to be working mostly with clear glass today. We're going to add color as we go. Now every time Misha reaches into that furnace, that pipe gets really hot. So he's going to use some water to cool it down so it's a little bit safer to work with. Now he has just a small amount on the end. That glass is liquid, so it's kind of like honey. And if he stops turning that pipe, that glass will actually run off the end. So what he's doing is shaping it up. He's going to heat it up again in a second furnace that's also 2,000 degrees. And we're going to be adding a little bit of color. Now the color we have is actually in our box. Little furnace in front of us. That furnace is also about 1,000 degrees, and it holds color inside. So the color inside there is actually a green color. It's going to pick up a small amount of that right down the end of his pipe. And we get that color in two different forms. We get an opaque, which is solid, and transparent. So he has a nice opaque green on the end of his pipe right now. Now that color looks a little strange because it's a dense amount of minerals added to glass. And we're going to be blowing that out later on and thinning it out. So it's going to kind of stretch that color out. Now, when glass is extremely hot, it's going to turn bright orange no matter what color Misha has. As it cools down, that color is going to start to show up. Well, we're not going to see the true color Misha has today until that piece is finished. And we're going to put it into our kiln, actually over on the side of our studio. That kiln's 950 degrees right now. That glass has to cool down very slowly overnight before that color will start to show up. Right now, Misha is shaping it up. He's actually going to be grabbing a second pipe here once he has that shaped up. And the next pipe is going to be a hollow one called a flow pipe. So that's the one he's actually going to make the vessel on. It's a hollow pipe that allows him to flow air through the glass. The one he has right now is solid, and it's just used for shaping that color. So he's shaping that glass with a steel table called a marker. We have a larger version here that he's also going to be using later on. Now we use that table to shape, but anytime we have steel, it cools down the glass as well. So we can kind of heat, shape, and cool down specific areas. Now our glass is about 1,200 degrees. It's actually solid again. We can't work with it any further, so that's why it keeps heating in our chamber there. Kind of cooling it down, shaping, then heating it back up. So it's a long process of heating, cooling, and shaping. Once he has this shaped up, he's going to hand it over to me so we can gather some more clear glass on the hollow pipe. I'm going to keep this nice and warm for him. You can see that green looks orange. As it cools down, it'll kind of darken again. Once he has some clear glass on the end of his pipe, he's actually going to blow a little bit of air in the end. That air is going to reach the hot glass and start to expand to create a bubble. Causing that air to expand. And we're going to be taking this color that he has and actually dropping it over the top of his bubble, forcing it all around the side of that glass. So we're going to let this bubble kind of cool down. We're still talking over 1,000 degrees in glass cooling terms. But I'm going to heat that color up really hot. We're going to let it kind of fall around the bubble. If this bubble is too hot while we do that, it'll actually collapse. So we're kind of letting it solidify.
They do it every so often. I think 1, 3, 4, I think 4 times a week they do this. So you got to really be here for your timing to check it out, but it is really cool.
Now he has some color on the end of that bubble that he's going to kind of force all around the sides. Now he was able to cut through that glass with a special pair of shears called diamond shears. They actually have 4 blades on them, and when we close them, they kind of make a nice diamond shape. So what that does is it brings all the glass to the center on the top of that bubble. So now he's going to force all that color around the clear glass. It's going to give him a nice even color all the way around the bubble. So that's just one form of color that we can add to glass. If we crush that color bar up, we get what's called frit. So it's kind of like sprinkles. And that allows us just to get different designs when we're making glass. If we grind this up even further, we get a nice powder. So it's just kind of used for different applications, get different designs. But when we use straight color bar, it's going to be a nice solid color all throughout the piece. So still, each only has a small amount of glass right now. Even with that color added, if he wants to make a larger piece, we're going to go back into our furnace and keep gathering more clear glass on top of this. Now we can only gather so much glass at a time out of that furnace. It's pretty liquid like honey. So what we have to do is cool down the piece, make it kind of solid again. And that's going to allow him to kind of add more glass on top of each other. He does want to make sure this is all shaped up with some heat first. He's going to let it cool down, and if he were to go back into that furnace, if it's too hot, a couple of things can happen. That bubble can collapse from the weight of the new glass, but since he has color on that bubble right now, if it's too hot, that color can actually slide off into our tank and contaminate all that clear glass. So he doesn't want that to happen. So once he's happy with the shape, he's going to kind of let it cool down. Now the nice thing about some colors that we use is we can tell the temperature just on what color it looks. So as I mentioned before, when it's bright orange, it's really hot. As it starts to cool down, that green color will kind of start to show up a little bit. So every time we go into our furnace, we can trap air bubbles inside of our tank. We don't want air bubbles on the actual piece, so what I did is actually push some of those bubbles to the back of the furnace with another steel tool we call it a rake. So now when we're working with glass, we are always turning. Misha has to control how fast or slow he's turning. Right now, if he were to turn too quick, he'll have centrifugal force grip some of that glass away from his pipe. He doesn't want to turn too slow because if he does, the glass will fall off as well. So he has to turn just as the rate reads. Now, glass at the end of that pipe, when it's solid, weighs about the same amount of rock, the same size. However, it feels a lot heavier to us because we're working on a fulcrum on that pipe. So the further towards the handle he's going to grab, the heavier the glass feels. And we want to grab really close without getting burned. So that's why we always cool down that pipe, so we can grab a little bit further and have more control while we're working. It does take a fair amount of coordination to become a glass blower, because Misha's always turning that pipe, usually with his left hand. He's going to be shaping and tooling that glass with his right hand. He actually has a surgical tube.
Oh, James, thanks, dude. I appreciate
He
that.
can use that to blow air to that bubble at the same time. So quite a few things happen.
James with the big super chat. Thank you, man.
Right now to help him shape that bubble nice and round, he's actually using a wooden tool. It's called a block. Made of cherry wood. And we like to use fruit wood with our wooden tools.
I appreciate that.
Very well. Now he's keeping that tool soaked in water right now. When he goes to use that tool, he's actually using steam.
Yeah, same.
That water does evaporate and the wood burns. Right now he's using another.
You kind of have to forget that it's hot.
Actually just folded up newspaper. So the same concept, that newspaper is holding some water content, creating a nice steam layer to shape that glass. The nice thing about paper versus a wooden tool, wooden tools are always going to be the same shape. That newspaper is the closest we'll ever be to actually touching that glass with our hand. So once again, Misha might want some more clear glass. We're going to let that bubble cool off again. And we can go back into our furnace.
Can feel it.
You can see the end of the pipe's a little bit hotter, has some more orange color to it. Misha's been working, he's keeping that pipe fairly low. If we ever gather too much glass at once, what we can do is actually hold that pipe straight up and down. There's a small bucket in front of him, and we can kind of let some of the new glass run off and kind of thin out. So now the nice thing about all of our clear glass, it's one of the most recyclable materials we use today. We can actually take that glass and throw it right back into the furnace and keep using it. Now, it does have a little bit of color, we have to send this away. And different studios actually melt it down and use it for different projects. So once Misha has enough glass on his pipe, he can actually start shaping and blowing some air into it, starting to work on the actual form. But usually in blown vessels that glass makers make, we kind of work upside down and we actually shape the bottom about 2/3 first. We will eventually flip this around onto a second pipe and we're going to finish up the top. We need to kind of finish about 2/3 of that piece first. Now here at the museum, we do have a couple opportunities to work with glass yourself. We have workshops where we have you sign up in blocks of an hour on our website, and we work with you one-on-one to create small objects that we change out of wood. Coming up in April, we're actually making a mushroom. Now we work with you to create a mushroom in glass. The following week, come by, pick these up and take them with us. So it's a great opportunity to just get a taste of glass blowing. Now coming up on April 2nd, we're going to be offering our next round of courses here of glass blowing. We actually train you to become a glass blower. So for 10 weeks, we meet once a week and train you to actually be a glass blower in our studio here.
I would become part of the sculpture.
3 of those 10-week sessions, you can actually rent time at the museum. Look around the side of our building. We have another set of a hot shop and furnaces that you can come by to rent and make your own work. So the tool Misha asked for are called jacks. They look like tongs with 2 blades on them. And he's going to use those blades to create a constriction in that piece.
Yeah, the class would be really fun.
Neck portion, if we're making a bottle or a vase. You can also use that tool to make a weak spot where we're going to break this away from the pipe later on. So now that tool is one of the only tools we put wax on. So once Misha's done working with that tool, it's just basic kind of backwards movement. While the rest of the tool is basically forward, so you can make it usually the bottom gets a little bit hotter because it's the first thing receiving heat, the last thing coming out of that furnace as well. But also that pipe's acting like a heat sink, taking a lot of heat away from that neck portion. So what he's doing is using that torch to build some heat back and even out that piece. So he can control what parts of that bubble are moving. Now when we blow air into glass, it's always going to expand the hottest part. So if he just keeps blowing into that bubble in the next hole, only the bottom will expand. It'll get thinner and thinner. Now we do want some glass at the bottom so it's not top heavy. But he wants to be able to work on that neck portion, so that's the reason why he uses that hand torch. Some of the other opportunities we have to work at the labs here at the museum. There's a couple other studios here in the building. Down below us, there's a black lab studio where we do cut glass and we use it. We also have stained glass for new lessons in that studio as well. We have casting, glass casting, which is done with plaster silicone molds where we fill them to make solid sculptures. Actually, right behind our studio here, by the coat section, there's another studio called the Flamework Studio. In that one, there's bench torches set up. We make very small, delicate pieces of glass art. But we also teach neon sign making in that studio as well. Now, all of our lessons actually have scholarship opportunities. And the next round of summer sessions will actually be on our website coming up on April 2nd. So it'll be available to kind of sign up, as well as all of those scholarships for them as well.
The inside drawings will be cool to learn how to make those.
That newspaper is going to stop the bubble from expanding at the bottom, even some thickness. It's forcing that bubble to get wider around the center part. We'll get a quick look at the current shape. Now once again, Misha will be flipping this around onto a second pipe so we can work on the area that's connected. There's a small constriction, that's where he's going to tend to break it free. Now I'm going to take over for Misha Misha here. He's going to grab some fork paddles. And we're going to start flattening part of the sides. So you use those fork paddles kind of pushing the bubble. I was actually trapping the air with my thumb so they didn't collapse completely. So now he's kind of smoothing out that bubble. He has that shape that he wants. He's going to kind of let his feet even out, pull down just a little bit to stabilize. Now we want the glass to be close to about that 1200 degrees, maybe a little bit less. We don't want it to get too cold, but we want that glass to be stable again so it's not moving. Now he's pretty much finished up with that shaping. He needs to be able to work on the top. So that's why we're going to break this free from his pipe. And then we'll start working on that top section. It's pretty round on the bottom, at the very bottom. We want that base to kind of stand up. So he's going to make sure it has a flat spot so that base won't fall over when we set it down. So we're going to add a clear foot to the bottom.
Welcome everybody to the live stream. We are live at the Toledo Museum of Art in Toledo, Ohio. We're watching a glass blowing exhibition. Please make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and follow.
We need some more clear glass from Misha, and we're going to add this to the very bottom of the vase. So we're shaping up that foot. He's using a metal paddle. I'm helping him out with a wooden paddle. So he can make it nice and flat on the sides, but also the bottom. So now that new fresh clear glass we added to the foot, it's a little bit hotter than the rest of the piece. I'm going to make sure it's all evened out, and then we're going to transfer this onto the second plate. Once again, that green color is starting to show up. It's going to be a little bit different once it cools all the way down. Still kind of has a orange tint to the green. I'm going to start gathering some more clear glass onto our next pipe. Get the new pipe centered up. And we're going to use a little bit of water on that line here. I'm going to thermally shock the glass and actually break it on the line he made earlier. Now there's a little bit of extra glass on the pipe you originally had. What we're going to do is keep that into our steel drum. And what's going to happen is that glass is going to go from a liquid to a solid too fast. It's going to start to squeeze in on itself and create about 10,000 pounds of pressure. And it's actually going to break and explode off of that pipe. Now we don't want that flying across the room, which is why we keep it in that bucket. But we don't want that to happen to make its peaks. So that's the whole reason why we're going to put it into our kiln. That's going to slowly cool it down over about 24 hours. It's going to relieve all that stress by cooling the glass down evenly. We'll have a beautiful piece the following day. Now that does, the amount of time that it takes to cool down is determined how thick the glass is. We try to keep things pretty thin when we're blowing glass in our studio. And we make solid sculptures, kind of like our draped glass form in the back there of our gallery. That piece is so thick it took about 6 months to actually cool down.
Jesus.
We always try to keep things thinner when we're making it in our hot shop. Now what Meech is going to do is he's going to heat up just that top portion. He's done working on the bottom section where he doesn't want to get too cold. He's going to heat quickly the whole thing. He's really focusing that heat on the top. You can see that bright orange color where he's intending to kind of shape the rest of that base. But that glass at the top, It's a little bit thicker because we did not blow that portion out. So what he's going to do is kind of thin that out. You can either squeeze that and kind of stretch it longer to get some of that glass to thin out. You can also just cut some away to get to the thin glass as well. What you're going to do is focus the heat just on that part he wants to stretch and thin out. He's going to let the glass at the bottom kind of be stable because he is finished with that portion. Now because we are working with glass that's over 2,000 degrees, there's a lot of radiant heat coming off of that piece. So right now we should just dunk his hand in some water. That's going to help him cool off his hand while he's working. He also has a Kevlar sleeve on his arm to protect him from that heat as well. Once again, he's adding some heat just on that neck portion. Once he's happy with the stretching, he's going to remove some of those tweezer marks. Be creating another constriction where he's going to remove some of those extra tool marks. That on top was the glass. The pipes for us, kind of a nice thing about the glass breaking free. So you're using those jacks, the blades to cool down the glass, making it really brittle right on the end here. Those diamond shears that have 4 blades, that steel pulled the glass down really fast. When I tapped on it with the tweezers, it actually broke away the extra glass we didn't need. Right now, we kind of smoothed out that lip. It was sharp when we broke it free. But now, Misha can no longer blow air into that base because he has it flipped around onto the next pipe. So what we have here is a tool called a Sofietta, and it's going to create a seal so he can blow some more air back into that piece from the opposite end. Some final shaping here. Now this piece, when he's finished, is still going to be about 1,000 degrees. He has to get it about that temperature. If we put this away too hot, it'll actually start to collapse. If we put it away too cold, it can also break just like the glass on his pipe. So he's going to get close to 1,000 degrees, and I'm actually going to catch this with some Kevlar gloves. Now, all of the pieces we do make during our public demonstrations are actually available to purchase. Basically, what we do is that if anyone's interested, we take your name and information down. We let this cool down over that 24-hour process. If it needs any grinding, sometimes we sign the piece, TMA drafts. We do that and we send you a photo of it if that color does change. At that point, then you can decide.
Hey, what's happening, Dan? How are you, man?
Some of our previous demonstrations are actually located on the side of this hot shop there. Those pieces are also for sale, but once they go over to the side, they get marked up for retail. So everything we make in the studio while we're making it is always $90, no matter the object. That money goes right back into our studio.
Good to hear, man.
Furnace burning. That one is on 24/7. But that money also helps us provide workshops and classes as well. So it's a pretty cool opportunity to own some museum quality glass we saw being made. We'll let me finish this piece up here.
This is actually part of the Toledo Museum. This is their glass house. This is a whole separate building that they have here. It's kind of a little mini museum, but they do a lot of glass blowing classes. Just happened to catch it on the right day when they were doing a demonstration. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you're new to the live stream, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and follow. We have been live from the Toledo Museum of Art. Yes, the glass is definitely reusable. Unfortunately, they have two separate ones. You've got a clear glass and you've got a colored glass. If you mix those will definitely contaminate your clear glass. So there are different ways that you can recycle them and use them. I actually worked for a glass company for a little while. And there's a dog. They have not dropped one yet. This is the only piece he's been working on for like an hour. So I don't think they're going to be dropping this one. I have been to a couple other ones where they do like little projects, and then they do drop them.
Just like before, to break that green, it's just going to use a little bit of water, and it should pop off of these pipes.
kind of like punking them. You've been punked. Here it comes. Crazy. Pops off like that.
All right, how about a round of applause from you? So thanks for watching our demonstration. I hope you enjoyed that, as well as our gallery here at the museum. If anyone has any questions or if you're interested in that piece, just let us know. We'd be happy to answer any questions for you. So thanks very much for coming in, and have a wonderful day.
It's a nice little way to spend an hour. But since we are in here, I'll show you, go through the glass exhibition itself. I actually worked for, when I was younger, I worked for a company called Guardian Glass. They make automobile glass and all kinds of flat glass. Two lines, they're constantly running. One made green, one made white. See, these are some of the exhibits that they have here in the actual glass house area. Toledo also has Libby Glass. Libby Glass is a well-known, I guess, glassware company. Which one, Dan? Libby or Guardian? You're good. Can you?
You gotta get her when you get it. But do you mind just slap it until you don't want to do it no more?
Yeah, I got you. You're good.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
Like you must have.
Thanks, man.
Let's see. I'm sorry about that. Oh no, we need color. It was in black and white. We need something for a boy and a girl. I'm sorry. You know what? That's
Hey,
bad.
if you don't just give them the camera and put it on regular camera, you can
Put
do
it on
the
your
filters
regular
after.
camera. And I
Yeah,
got
you like this one? Okay.
It's not gonna be able to snap that.
Yes, fine. You can. All you gotta do is just do that. Press.
Do it.
Just
Do it
keep that.
right now. Do it right
Okay,
now.
watch this.
So
Oh, okay. What?
just go to your regular camera and then put it on the filter afterwards.
No, I want to filter. Period. Here you are. I don't like that it's too dark, but give us a good picture. When you snap it, go down the waist to the bottom. It's gonna have an arrow pointing down. Oh, you look like you know exactly what you're doing.
Yep, I got you.
You want
guys.
nice, lovely pictures as well. We're a family that we're family. You know.
On three. Ready? One,
Okay.
two.
Hold on. I got these keys right here.
1, 2, 3. I got the picture, but I'm not sure what it's got.
Oh shit. Okay, I don't know. I'm just gonna save it. Oh, I like it. Why I have my hand like that? My dude, he's so gangster. No, okay, yeah, that's cool. Did you save it though?
Yeah, you just said.
Save it.
Do you want to take a look?
Yes. Okay, yes.
That's what you.
I don't like that one. That was the first one. That's how bad it was in the beginning. Oh, he's so beautiful. Babe, why you look at?
Hey, if you don't let this man go,
Okay. Because I'm about to run out of space anyway. Okay. All right, here we go. We want like 4 of those, okay? Okay, hold on. Sorry.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Look like that. Okay, we're good.
Okay. You guys have a good day. He's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just had a granddaughter too. She's 7 months now. She's a child. She loves to eat it. Hell yeah. No problem. You guys have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, Guardian. I worked at Guardian for almost 3 years. It was an extremely dangerous job. That's how I got my scar. I've got a scar on my bottom lip. That was from my second day of training there. You just pick up glass with Kevlar gloves, and a piece broke off in my hand and popped me right in the mouth. I have not heard of that glass. You have a really cool chandelier over here, though. Got a chandelier, and then I think we'll call it quits here. I've been here since 11 o'clock, off and on, so. Thank you. This thing's over here. It's like a lantern that they have here, or a chandelier. Super cool. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us. We're going to pack it up here, and we are going to head out. Well, thank you for everybody for tuning in. Thank you for being here for the glass blowing demonstration at the Toledo Museum of Art at the Glass House. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you hit the thumbs up before you get out of here. And big shout out once again to our Patreon members, Cat R, Charlie Rusk, April, Critical, Eric, James. Thank you guys. Big shout out as well to Cat R and James for your super chats on our live streams today. And we will see you guys possibly later on from Dave & Buster's. Not sure, but possibly. Just keep a lookout. Thanks, everyone.